This is one of 7 bays of this very new greenhouse that we just built. It contains our special plant collection of somewhat exotic plants, whereas in the other bays we would have students grow plants that are more typical for Quebec agriculture. Here, I give you an example. This has very thick leaves, very resistant to drought, whereas this one, the leaves here are much thinner. And then we have a leaf, completely different leaf shape here that is longitudinal. For scientists, it's really important to understand how these different leaf shapes are adapted to different environmental conditions. We already are subject to changing temperatures, but also conditions such as drought or rain, excess of water, are more dramatic than they were before. We can learn from the plants that are adapted already to these conditions and try and understand how they operate.
How can we more sustainably produce our food? Climate change, environmental pressures are very significant, and to be able to study how the plants evolve in those conditions and come up with the best practices, this type of facility helps us to do that. You can even mimic the climate change that will happen in 50 years. You can mimic the environmental pressures, and that's what we are trying really here in a cohesive way to mimic, is to try to start at the scale here where we identify the conditions and then scale it up in our farm so we can produce.
Think of companies like Lufa. They were all started with people who have trained sooner or later in some faculty of agriculture in order to know how to grow plants. Teaching is not only actually teaching how plants work, but also how greenhouses are being operated. Can we make sure that our teaching is relevant for the industrial and the corporate sector? And so we look around what is relevant at the moment. We stay up to date every single day.